Hi guys, it's Wombat. ATS 137, the open beta, was released earlier this week, and although the beta version do contain some really fantastic new features such as FMOD, the new sound system, and the new food tank trailer, there wasn't that much news in it. Other than that, I for one was hoping perhaps to see some city fix-ups in the older parts of ATS, similar to what we've seen SES do to Germany and has now started to do with France on ETS 2, but apparently none of that has happened on the Open Beta 137 for ATS. Perhaps that explains why this open beta is the easiest to work with, from my perspective at least, when it comes to mods, because so far I haven't really seen any mods that doesn't continue to work on this open beta from 136. No, obviously there are tens of thousands of mods for ATS, so there's no way I can check all of them. But those I have tested so far, which mainly is my map combo and mods I use quite frequently, they all work, even though of course anything in them related to side windows and FMOD doesn't necessarily work as they used to. But in their defense, at the same time, FMOD isn't perfectly implemented, no one expected it to be anyway, on the trucks and traffic from SES themselves either. So, but even though there's gonna be a lot of work to do for modders regarding both the sound on the truck mods that I'm using, as well as AI traffic, sound fixes pack, and all other mods using sound, it still works. And that even goes for the Windows sound. Yes, on mods that hasn't been updated for 137, the Windows doesn't actually go up and down, but the sound acts like if the windows were going up and down, even on mod trucks. There is perhaps one thing I didn't expect to see in version 137, and that is the walking camera in truck and trailer configuration screens, plus a new garage scene. The walking camera in truck and trailer configurations is great news. It's a beginning. To be completely honest, I do not understand why SES didn't implement that walking camera even outside of the truck and trailer configuration screens. Hopefully it's just a matter of time before we can walk around on the streets as well. Not that I'm looking forward to being able to walk around Seattle, but I want to be able to walk up to my truck, maybe for some cool videos. That could be something interesting. Maybe it would be interesting to be allowed to walk around on TruckersMP during truck fests. Wouldn't that be nice, being able to walk around, maybe to be able to see yourself and others' avatars walking around on the streets? Hopefully something happens in the future, but I'm getting way ahead of myself because we're here to talk about 137. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you the new FMOD sound and show you some examples of it and what it sounds like so far. Of course, that includes taking a look at the windows that I'm currently hauling with open a tiny bit, as you can see to my left, and we're gonna go through the settings for the FMOD sounds. We're gonna go take a look at the food tank trailer and Tobii Eye Tracking. There are some news there as well. So we're going to go through that briefly to see what it's all about. And even if you don't have ATS, take a look at it, especially FMOD and the Tobii updates, because these are things we will see on ETS 2.137 as well. I'm pretty sure even FMOD is going to be there for ETS 2 once that has been updated to 1.37 beta. So let's dive into it, shall we? So there are 4 buttons you need to configure for the windows to open and close. There are different buttons for windows on both the left and the right side of the truck. And as you can see, the animation of it is beautiful, and it works very well, obviously, on trucks by SCS. Obviously, mod trucks needs to update for this function as well, but it's mainly there for aesthetics. You don't actually have to have the windows going up and down for the sound changes to happen. They happen anyway, regardless. And I'll demonstrate that on a mod truck as well. So here I am in my custom Viper truck, and as you can see, there's nothing really happening, but if you listen to the outside sound, it changes as I move the windows, imaginary windows, up and down. So if we go into the settings and audio, as you can see, we have a ton of different things that you can configure. Now, I haven't tested how this works between different profiles yet. I assume, I hope that it's transferred to all your profiles, because otherwise it's gonna be a nightmare. This is nice though. We can now choose which audio drivers to use specifically for the game. Not really sure what situations that is handy. Maybe in some situations where you are using one audio driver for the Windows PC and another for the game, you can do changes to it, I don't know. So let's take a look at the sound settings you now have and see how we can play around with them. I'm just going to focus on the truck mainly, because I think that is the most interesting thing to look at. And so for the truck you have, is it 6? No, it's 5 different settings. 6 settings: truck engine volume, truck exhaust volume, and some others. Let's turn all of them down except for the truck engine volume and take a listen. So there we have the truck engine volume. That's how that sounds. This is of course using one of the standard trucks. I'm not using a mod here. That would be stupid right now, at least. So let's have a listen to just the exhaust volume. And next thing up is to take a listen to the truck effect volume. I assume that being the interior sounds, the different sounds the truck make. I can't come up with any of these examples of it. As you can hear, there are some sounds made by the truck here. I'm not really sure how that is different from the truck noise volume. Let's take a listen to that as well. So there we have it. That is the 4 different settings we have for truck noise. So if we then turn all of them back on again, you'll see and set them to some kind of setting that I feel sounds right, or is just about right. You'll notice that, or at least I did, that there are still things that needs to be fixed here, because the trucks, in my opinion at least, doesn't sound as nice as they used to. There's too much difference right now between what the truck sounds like when you are throttling it and what it sounds like when you're not. That doesn't take any it doesn't take the RPM engine on the engine into consideration at all at the moment. And that is hopefully something that we will see changes to over time. This is still only the very first open beta, so this is not criticism to SCS in any way. I'm just stating it. It sounds not that convincing unless you are using the throttle at least a little bit. But as you can see, there are quite a few other changes we can do to sounds as well, including a couple of reverb effects in the cabin and on the outside world, which is nice. I think I haven't made up my mind yet, should I use reverb or not. Maybe I will. I'm still, the jury is still out on that one. I should also mention that since I'm doing these tests on my big map combo, there are some traffic from other mods in here. So the traffic doesn't necessarily sound as you would expect it to when it drives past you. It depends on, especially the buses you'll see every here and there, they don't sound like you expect them to. And that is because they are mods, so they are built into the map ATMX that I'm using here. So Jonathan needs to make some changes to the sound for those AI buses so that they can take advantage of the new FMOD sound system we have on ATS. Something I'm really looking forward to is hauling on gravel roads. Listen to this. Yeah, gravel roads are gonna be great. I'm looking forward to trying out mud roads as well. I haven't seen any mud roads yet during my testing so far, at least. It's gonna be interesting hearing what they sounds like. Then we have the food tank trailer. There it is, available in all 5 configurations as you would expect. Looks nice. There's not much you can do configuration wise with it yet, at least. Expect modders to just jump on this thing and start making changes to it. There are a standard variety of different skins for it, which is nice. But other than that, there is not much you can do with this truck. Let's take a look at the exterior configuration of it, and as you'll see, we have well, some lights only on the first trailer though. The back of the trailer, yeah, you can change that for all the 3 tanks in this case, but the double lights is only available for some reason on the first of the 3 trailers. On the number 2 and 3 trailers, we still have some boxes we can add to it, but as you can see, there's only standard lights available on the side of trailer number 2 and 3 for some odd reason. But it's a nice trailer, and looking forward to see what the modding community can do with this thing. And as I mentioned earlier, you can now move around your trailer before you buy it, and press the feet button there and you can walk around. You can both crawl down, unfortunately not underneath it, but you can look down and and get very close to the sides of it. Not really sure why you can't crawl in under it. I wish that was available. But unfortunately you can't do that. And unfortunately you can't climb on top of the trailer either. You can just walk around it. Not over it, not under it. And since I'm here at a farm right now and I'm running out of things to talk about other than the changes to Tobii Eye Tracker, I'm gonna haul on this relatively small but still very nice gravel road, just to prove that, yeah, my truck mode, my trailer mod, my most precious trailer mod on ATS still works. So I'm gonna enjoy holding on using this one for at least another 6 months. This is Road Hunter's bonkers big trailer mod, which unfortunately he stopped development on it on 132, but it still works even on 137. But again, Tobii, the eye tracking pause key function has been fixed finally. The automatic eye tracking pause while in game is paused when you are in the UI, which is on the settings menu. And there's a settings hotkey now for the Tobii Eye Tracker. So on my device, or as default, if you press Shift Numlock, you go straight in to the Tobii Eye Tracking settings, which is great, especially when you're new to eye tracking. You go back and forth between the game and the settings quite often, and that takes some time when you have to press escape to get to the menu. You then have to press settings, then graphics, controls, and then scroll all the way to the bottom, and then you select Tobii. So it's a long process. It takes valuable time when you just want to make tiny adjustments. So it's great to now have a actual hotkey to get into the Tobii settings. Other than that, there is no changes really to Tobii. They fixed a couple of things and added the hotkey, which is great in itself, especially when you're new to Tobii. Other than that, we do not have any new trucks. We do not have any changes to cities or roads anywhere. At least I haven't seen anything like that. So it's perhaps running low on new features, but still I love 137 and I love to see where FMOD is going to take us. I do hope they make some changes to the walking camera over time so that we are allowed to move around in the world and not only in the truck and trailer configuration screens. But other than that, I find this to be an excellent beta, especially since it doesn't affect your the mods you already are using much, if at all. Of course, those mods you use that have limitations set in the manifest file, mainly that is mods like the sound fix pack that is set to work specifically on 136. Well, it's just a matter of changing the manifest file to allow it to work on 137. That is, or at least should be, basic knowledge to anyone who uses mods, how to do that. And I've actually even done a video on how easy it is to change the manifest file. Anyway, sound fixes pack needs a huge update in any case, so maybe it doesn't really matter that much that sound fixes pack doesn't work. But there are mods like that that requires you to make changes to the manifest file. But other than that, from what I have seen so far, all mods work, and that has got to be a first. Some of that positive news. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe as well. And till next time, take care everyone. Bye bye.